So there is a lot of talk about lack of innovation in MMORPGs and why the MMORPG community is stagnant, but I don't agree with all of that. At least not in the way that this is affecting the community as a whole versus just the one person talking about it. I skimmed through a video the other day talking about tempering your hype for Ashes of Creation, which you should do for any game, but then it says Ashes of Creation isn't doing anything to break the wheel. When jumping into a genre of a game, you start with the MVP, the minimum viable product. In a platformer, it would be you have a person, they jump to a platform. In a racing game, car goes vroom. From there, you build around it. Maybe they jump a little different, or it's a car with crazy physics. We can look at a game like Rocket League, 3v3 giant beach ball soccer, then change who and how the ball is interacted with, like how Blizzard was able to create Lucio Ball in Overwatch. Subscribe! With that said, when making an MMO, you start with the framework, the MVP, and build around it. In an MMO, it's the world building, the lore, the classes, and the skills, and art direction that make it unique. And that's what separates your Warcrafts from your Final Fantasies. When you play WoW, you have to make a character for every class you want to play. Certain races can be certain classes. There are factions, and if you move from WoW to Final Fantasy, every race can be every class, but not only can every race be every class, you can create one character and have that one character be every class. This is an innovation to the genre. Even though it's unique to Final Fantasy, when it was introduced, it is something new that other games weren't delivering. The MVP of a car is a carriage on wheels that moves itself. The first car had 3 wheels, and innovation changed it to 4. Eventually we have cars with airbags, electric vehicles, the seatbelt, etc., but not every car adopted these things at the same time. It's not until the next model comes out when features are added. But fundamentally, the car hasn't changed. The same can be said for MMOs. An MMO can introduce something new and innovative, and we might see it implemented in a current MMO because changes come in the form of expansions and patches. When that thing is added to an existing MMO, we look at it as a quality of life change, and we don't really see the impact, but what has happened is evolution and change that came from the innovation of another MMO. Talking about WoW again, WoWstar introduced the ability of buying game time with your in-game currency. That was innovative. When it was added to WoW, it was just another way to make some in-game gold. Let's look to the future a bit at Ashes of Creation. Ashes of Creation is introducing the node system. As people do various events around a node, the world changes. If I'm not mistaken, the nodes that are open are random per server, which potentially means that no 2 servers will be the same. This is an innovative system, and if it works as intended, a big deal. But everything around that system is something that we've seen at some point before, so it doesn't feel as if the game is bringing anything new to the table. So where does the problem lie? It lies within the MMO community. Players invest a lot of time into an MMO, and at some point, they start to get a little tired of the same formulaic grind and start to look for something new and fresh, instead of looking for a potential new world to explore. They are just looking at features, and when they jump into the game, they play the same way they always play. It's like visiting another country or city, but instead of checking out the local hamburger spot and taking in the new sights, you're like, where's McDonald's at? And going back to the hotel. Then when someone asks you how your trip was, you reply with, it was alright. They didn't really have anything special. But the truth is, you weren't interested in scratching the surface. You just needed some new scenery to look at for a bit, and that's fine. There may never be an MMO that can please everyone, that can push the limits of your imagination of where an MMO can be, and that leaves you with a few options. Be happy with what you got, make what you want, or take a break from the genre while keeping your eyes peeled for something that will reignite the flame. What do you guys think? We can continue this in the comments. Thanks for watching.